Ladies and gentlemen, they will never find peace after losing you. There comes a time when silence speaks louder than any goodbye, when your absence echoes louder than your presence ever had to. You were the calm in the storm, the steady hand in chaos, the soul that gave when it wasn't even asked. And yet, they treated you like you were replaceable, like what you brought to the table could be found in just anybody. But what they didn't understand is that your kind of love doesn't come around twice. Your spirit can't be duplicated, your peace, your patience, your light. It was a rare kind of grace, and now it's gone. And now they're searching for closure, for comfort, for some kind of peace to ease the sting. But here's the truth: they won't find it. Because you don't get peace after betraying the one who brought it to you. You don't get to sleep soundly after wounding the one who prayed for you. That kind of peace doesn't come from running. It doesn't come from distractions. It doesn't come from pretending. It only comes through accountability, and they're not ready for that kind of truth. You were the gift they couldn't handle, the answered prayer they didn't recognize. And now, the weight of losing you is something they'll carry quietly, daily, endlessly, not because you're trying to punish them, but because life has a way of showing us what we lost only after it's too late to get it back. You were the light in their darkness. There are people who walk into your life like a sunrise, quiet, steady, and warm. They don't announce themselves with thunder or lightning, but their presence changes everything. You were that light. The kind of person who didn't just show up, you stayed. You listened when no one else did. You gave when no one asked. You loved without conditions, and you healed without seeking credit. You were the calm in their chaos, the steady hand when everything else was falling apart. They didn't see it then. They were too busy chasing noise to notice the peace you brought. They mistook your consistency for simplicity, your patience for passivity. They believed the storm was more exciting than the shelter. But now, in the silence of your absence, they're beginning to understand. They're realizing that you were the one who brought balance to their lives. You were the one who turned their house into a home, their confusion into clarity. You were the one who stood by them when the world walked away. Now, without you, they're lost. The light is gone, and the darkness is overwhelming. They're searching for the peace you provided, but they can't find it, because peace isn't a place. It's a person, and that person was you. They may try to replace you with distractions, with noise, with temporary fixes, but nothing will fill the void you left. Because you weren't just a part of their life, you were the best part. So let them search. Let them realize what they lost. Let them understand that true peace doesn't come from the absence of problems, but from the presence of someone who makes those problems bearable. That someone was you, and now you're gone. Losing you wasn't just a mistake, it was a turning point. Some losses shake you, some losses haunt you. But then there are some that change you forever. Losing you wasn't just a simple mistake they could shrug off or sweep under the rug. It wasn't a misstep they could laugh about later or write off as a moment of weakness. No, losing you was the moment life hit them hard. It was the moment they came face to face with the weight of what they'd done. It was the turning point they never saw coming. They thought walking away from you was a win. They believed they could find better, easier, or more exciting. They thought your grace made you weak, your forgiveness made you naive. But what they failed to realize is that loving someone purely, loyally, and selflessly is not weakness, it's strength. Most people will never know. You weren't someone they could just replace. You were the anchor, the rare kind of soul that made their life better just by being in it. And now, without you, everything feels off balance. They may not admit it out loud, but deep down, they feel it. They feel the void you left. They feel the absence of your understanding, your steady presence, your unwavering love. Every time they reach for someone to comfort them and that person doesn't understand the way you did, they feel it. Every time they laugh, but it doesn't feel as full, as warm, as real, they remember you. That's the thing about turning points. They don't announce themselves, but once you cross them, you can't go back. You see, when someone loses a soul like yours, it forces them to confront themselves. Not just what they did, but who they were when they did it. It's no longer about blaming others. It's no longer about pride or appearances. It becomes about facing that hard truth in the mirror, that they had something beautiful and they broke it. They mishandled something sacred, and no amount of pretending can bring back the peace they traded away for ego and pride. That turning point is painful, it's uncomfortable, it disrupts the ego and shakes the soul. It's the kind of pain that creeps in at night when the world quiets down and the noise disappears. It's in that silence that they hear the truth. You were the blessing they prayed for, but didn't recognize until it was too late. Let them sit with that. Let them feel every bit of what they tried to run from. Because that's what happens when you lose someone real. Someone pure-hearted, someone loyal, someone who loved you past your flaws. That kind of loss doesn't just fade with time. It lingers. It teaches. It transforms. You were the shift they never expected. You were the chapter that should have been there forever. And now you are the lesson they'll carry for the rest of their life. You don't need revenge. You don't need to prove your worth. Life already did that. Life already showed them that they didn't just lose someone, they lost you. And that kind of loss, that becomes a turning point they'll never forget. Peace doesn't come when guilt still screams. There's a lie many people try to live by, that they can hurt someone, walk away, and eventually move on. They think time will heal all wounds, that distance will numb the consequence, and that silence can muffle the truth. But what they fail to understand is this: you can't find peace when guilt has taken up residence in your soul. It doesn't matter how far they run, how much they distract themselves, or how they dress up their lives to look fulfilled. If guilt is still screaming, peace will never stay. That guilt doesn't announce itself loudly at first. It creeps in, quiet, subtle. It starts as a whisper when they hear your name or see someone who reminds them of you. It shows up in the songs they used to hear when you were around, in the habits they picked up because you were the one who inspired them, in the places they now avoid because they're haunted by memories they wish they appreciated more when they had the chance. They may be surrounded by people, but they're not present. They laugh, but the joy doesn't last, because guilt isn't something you can cover with company or forget with entertainment. It stays. It waits. And when they lie down at night, that's when it begins to scream. That's when the silence becomes deafening. That's when the truth becomes unavoidable. They didn't just lose someone, they betrayed someone who was real, someone who truly cared, someone who showed up when no one else did. Guilt doesn't let them rest because it knows what they chose to ignore. It knows how they dismissed your kindness, how they rejected your patience, how they mocked your consistency, as if it made you small. They didn't value the fact that you stayed when others left, that you gave more than you ever took, that you forgave things that would have broken other people. And now, guilt reminds them, day by day, moment by moment, that they let go of something they were never meant to lose. You were their safe place. You were the one who believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves. You saw the best in them even when they gave you their worst. You stood in the fire with them, not to get burned, but to pull them out. And what did they do? They threw water on your flame. They took the one hand that was holding them up and pushed it away. And now, peace is a stranger they keep chasing, but never finding. Because peace doesn't come from pretending you weren't wrong. Peace doesn't come from suppressing the truth or blaming others for your choices. Peace is the product of accountability. And accountability, that's the one thing guilt doesn't let them run from. They may try to rewrite the story. They may try to make you the villain. They may say you were too emotional, too needy, too intense. But deep down, in the private chambers of their conscience, they know the truth. And that truth is what keeps them awake when the lights are off and the world is quiet. There's a weight that comes from knowing you hurt someone who meant you no harm, that you lost someone who only wanted to see you win. That kind of guilt doesn't just fade, it etches itself into your soul. It becomes part of your story. And no matter how successful they become, no matter how many people applaud them, there's always going to be that one voice in their mind reminding them, you let the real one go. And here's what makes it worse for them. You didn't try to get revenge. You didn't go around trying to ruin their name. You just removed yourself. You took your peace, your love, your light, and you left. You chose silence over chaos, grace over vengeance. And that silence, that's louder than any argument they ever tried to win. Because when someone loses the kind of soul that only wanted their healing, their growth, their freedom, guilt becomes the companion they can't escape. They'll post pictures, smile in crowds, start new relationships. But that guilt, it sits at the table with them. It lays in bed with them. It walks beside them in every quiet moment. Because until they confront what they did, until they sit with the truth and take responsibility, they will never know real peace. You see, peace isn't about escaping the past. Peace comes when you face it, when you learn from it, when you own it. But they're not there yet. They're still running, still hiding behind pride, behind denial, behind the illusion that life can go on the same without the one who brought the most light. But it doesn't. Life without you is a different kind of life. It may look full, but it's empty. It may sound loud, but it's hollow. Because the soul knows what the mouth won't say. They lost something divine, and now guilt is the only thing that truly understands that loss. So let them post, let them party, let them pretend. None of it will drown out the voice inside them that remembers you. None of it will undo the reality that they had someone rare, and they let them go. Their peace left when you did, and until they learn to face the consequences of their choices, guilt will be the only companion they'll ever truly know, because peace doesn't live where guilt screams. You brought a kind of love they'll never feel again. They're loves that flicker like candles, brief, delicate, and easily extinguished. And then there are loves like yours, a steady flame that warms everything around it, unwavering even in the fiercest storms. You didn't just offer affection, you offered sanctuary. In a world that often feels cold and indifferent, your love was a refuge, a place where they could be vulnerable, flawed, and still feel cherished. They may have encountered others who offered excitement or novelty, but those encounters lacked the depth and authenticity you provided. Your love wasn't about grand gestures or fleeting passions. It was about presence, understanding, and unwavering support. You saw them not just the facade they presented to the world, but their true selves. And you chose to stay. Now, in your absence, they search for that same connection, that same depth, but find only echoes. Because love like yours isn't commonplace. It's rare, profound, and transformative. It's the kind of love that leaves an indelible mark, a love that, once lost, becomes the benchmark against which all others are measured and found wanting. They may try to fill the void with distractions, with new faces and places, but nothing quite fits. Because what they lost wasn't just a partner. They lost a confidant, a safe haven, a mirror that reflected their best self. And in realizing this, they come to understand that some loves once gone leave a void that nothing else can fill. You brought a kind of love they'll never feel again. There are loves that flicker like candles, brief, delicate, and easily extinguished. And then there are loves like yours, a steady flame that warms everything around it, unwavering even in the fiercest storms. You didn't just offer affection, you offered sanctuary. In a world that often feels cold and indifferent, your love was a refuge, a place where they could be vulnerable, flawed, and still feel cherished. They may have encountered others who offered excitement or novelty, but those encounters lacked the depth and authenticity you provided. Your love wasn't about grand gestures or fleeting passions. It was about presence, understanding, and unwavering support. You saw them, not just the facade they presented to the world, but their true selves, and you chose to stay. Now, in your absence, they search for that same connection, that same depth, but find only echoes. Because love like yours isn't commonplace. It's rare, profound, and transformative. It's the kind of love that leaves an indelible mark, a love that, once lost, becomes the benchmark against which all others are measured. They might try to recreate it, to find it in someone else's eyes or touch, but it's never quite the same. Because what you offered wasn't just love. It was a mirror reflecting their best self, a compass guiding them through life's uncertainties. And without it, they're adrift, longing for a connection that once anchored them. Let them search. Let them realize that the love they lost wasn't just about companionship. It was about growth, healing, and becoming. And while they may find affection elsewhere, they'll never find the unique blend of strength and softness, passion and peace that you brought into their lives. Your love was a gift, a rare, beautiful gift. And now, its absence is a void they can't fill, a lesson they can't unlearn. Because some loves are once in a lifetime, and yours was just that. You brought a kind of love they'll never feel again. There are loves that flicker like candles, brief, delicate, and easily extinguished. And then there are loves like yours, a steady flame that warms everything around it, unwavering even in the fiercest storms. You didn't just offer affection, you offered sanctuary. In a world that often feels cold and indifferent, your love was a refuge, a place where they could be vulnerable, flawed, and still feel cherished. They may have encountered others who offered excitement or novelty, but those encounters lacked the depth and authenticity you provided. Your love wasn't about grand gestures or fleeting passions. It was about presence, understanding, and unwavering support. You saw them, not just the facade they presented to the world, but their true selves. And you chose to stay. Now, in your absence, they search for that same connection, that same depth, but find only echoes. Because love like yours isn't commonplace. It's rare, profound, and transformative. It's the kind of love that leaves an indelible mark, a love that, once lost, becomes the benchmark against which all others are measured. They might try to recreate it, to find it in someone else's eyes or touch, but it's never quite the same. Because what you offered wasn't just love. It was a mirror reflecting their best self, a compass guiding them through life's uncertainties. And without it, they're adrift, longing for a connection that once anchored them. Let them search. Let them realize that the love they lost wasn't just about companionship, it was about growth, healing, and becoming. And while they may find affection elsewhere, they'll never find the unique blend of strength and softness, passion and peace that you brought into their lives. Your love was a gift, a rare, beautiful gift. And now its absence is a void they can't fill, a lesson they can't unlearn. Because some loves are once in a lifetime, and yours was just that. Their journey without you will be a mirror they can't escape. When you were part of their world, you served as a mirror, reflecting their strengths, their potential, and their worth. Your belief in them acted as a lens, magnifying their abilities and encouraging them to strive for greatness. But now, in your absence, they are left to confront a reflection they may not recognize, a version of themselves lacking the confidence and motivation you once provided. Without your presence, they may find themselves questioning their decisions, doubting their capabilities, and grappling with a sense of loss that permeates their daily lives. The mirror you held up for them has shattered, leaving fragments that they must now piece together alone. This journey of self-discovery and reckoning is neither easy nor swift. It's a path filled with introspection, regret, and the haunting realization of what they've lost. As they navigate this new reality, they will encounter moments that force them to face their shortcomings and the consequences of their actions. Each challenge will serve as a reminder of the support and guidance you once offered, amplifying their awareness of your absence. This process is inescapable. It's a mirror they cannot avoid, reflecting the void left by your departure. Over time, they may come to understand that the discomfort they feel is not just about missing you, it's about confronting the parts of themselves that were nurtured and brought to light through your influence. This realization can be both enlightening and painful, as it forces them to acknowledge their dependence on your presence for their personal growth and happiness. However, this journey also offers an opportunity for transformation. By facing the mirror you've left behind, they have the chance to rebuild, reinvent, and rediscover their own strengths. It's a challenging process, but one that holds the potential for profound personal development. Yet, whether they choose to embark on this path or remain ensnared by their regrets is entirely up to them. In the end, their journey without you will be a testament to the impact you've had on their lives. It's a journey that will continually bring them face to face with the person they were with you and the person they must become without you. And as they traverse this path, they will come to realize that some mirrors reflect not just images, but the essence of what truly matters in life. In the tapestry of life, certain threads are woven so deeply into our existence that their absence creates an undeniable void. The departure of such a presence is not merely a loss, it's a profound transformation that reshapes the very fabric of our being. As we've journeyed through the reflections on love, accountability, and the irreplaceable nature of genuine connection, one truth remains evident. They will never find peace after losing you. This statement isn't just a sentiment. It's a testament to the depth of impact one soul can have on another. It's a reminder that authentic love and unwavering support are rare treasures, and their absence leaves an indelible mark on the heart. While time may dull the edges of pain, the essence of what was lost remains etched in memory. So as we reflect on our own journeys, let us recognize the value of the connections we hold dear. Let us cherish the relationships that uplift, challenge, and inspire us, and let us strive to be the kind of presence that, when absent, leaves a legacy of love, growth, and unwavering support. A presence that ensures those we leave behind are forever changed for the better. Thank you.